Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. As you can hear, the rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So, put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. So today is Saturday the 13th of January 2024, and we have 56 events to cover today, going all the way back to 28 BC. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 3 years ago in 2021. Outgoing US President Donald Trump is impeached for a second time on a charge of incitement of insurrection following the January the 6th United States Capitol attack 1 week prior. 4 years ago in 2020, the Thai Ministry of Public Health confirms the first case of COVID-19 outside China. Six years ago in 2018, a false emergency alert warning of an impending missile strike in Hawaii causes widespread panic in the state. 12 years ago in 2012, the passenger cruise ship Costa Concordia sinks off the coast of Italy due to the captain Francesco Schettino's negligence and irresponsibility. There are 32 confirmed deaths. 23 years ago in 2001, an earthquake hits El Salvador, killing more than 800. 24 years ago in the year 2000, a short 360 aircraft chartered by the Sirte Oil Company crashes off the coast of Brega, Libya, killing 21. 26 years ago in 1998, Alfredo Ormando sets himself on fire in St. Peter's Square, protesting against homophobia. 31 years ago in 1993, Space Shuttle Program Endeavour heads for space for the third time as STS-54 launches from the Kennedy Space Center. In the same year, the Chemical Weapons Convention, or CWC, is signed. Also in the same year, in Operation Southern Watch, USAF, USN, RAF and French Air Force jets attack AAA and SAM sites in southern Iraq. 33 years ago in 1991, Soviet Union troops attack Lithuanian independence supporters in Vilnius, killing 14 people and wounding 1,000 others. 34 years ago in 1990, Douglas Wilder becomes the first elected African American governor as he takes office as Governor of Virginia in Richmond, Virginia. 36 years ago in 1988, Lee Teng-hui becomes the first native Taiwanese president of the Republic of China. 38 years ago in 1986, a month-long violent struggle begins in Aden, South Yemen, between supporters of Ali Nasser Mohammed and Abdul Fattah Ismail, resulting in thousands of casualties. 39 years ago in 1985, a passenger train plunges into a ravine in Ethiopia, killing 428 in the worst railroad disaster in Africa. 42 years ago in 1982, shortly after takeoff, Air Florida Flight 90, a Boeing 737 jet, crashes into Washington, D.C.'s 14th Street Bridge and falls into the Potomac River, killing 78, including 4 motorists. 46 years ago in 1978, United States Food and Drug Administration requires all blood donations to be labelled paid or volunteer donors. 47 years ago in 1977, Japan Airlines cargo flight 1045, a Douglas DC-8 jet, crashes on the runway during takeoff from Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, killing 5. 52 years ago in 1972, Prime Minister Kofi Abrefa Busia and President Edward Akufo-Addo of Ghana are ousted in a bloodless military coup by Colonel Ignatius Kutu Ashemapong. 56 years ago in 1968, Johnny Cash performs live at Folsom State Prison. 58 years ago in 1966, Robert C. Weaver becomes the first African American cabinet member when he is appointed United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. 60 years ago in 1964, anti-Muslim riots break out in Calcutta in response to anti-Hindu riots in East Pakistan. About 100 people are killed. In the same year, in Manchester, New Hampshire, 14-year-old Pamela Mason is murdered. Edward Coolidge is tried and convicted of the crime, but the conviction is set aside by the landmark Fourth Amendment case Coolidge v. New Hampshire, 1971. "61 years ago in 1963, a coup d'etat in Togo results in the assassination of President Sylvanus Olympio. 66 years ago in 1958, the Moroccan Army of Liberation ambushes a Spanish patrol in the Battle of Edchera. 71 years ago in 1953, an article appears in Pravda accusing some of the most prestigious and prominent doctors, mostly Jews, in the Soviet Union of taking part in a vast plot to poison members of the top Soviet political and military leadership. 73 years ago in 1951, in the First Indochina War, the Battle of Vinh Yen begins. 74 years ago in 1950, British submarine HMS Truculent collides with an oil tanker in the Thames estuary, killing 64 men. In the same year, Finland forms diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. 82 years ago in 1942, Henry Ford patents a soybean car which is 30% lighter than a regular car. In the same year, in World War II, first use of an aircraft ejection seat by a German test pilot in a Heinkel HE-280 jet fighter. 85 years ago in 1939, the Black Friday bushfires burned 20,000 square kilometres, or 7,700 square miles, of land in Australia, claiming the lives of 71 people. 89 years ago in 1935, a plebiscite in Saarland shows that 90.3% of those voting wished to join Nazi Germany. 104 years ago in 1920, the Reichstag bloodbath of January the 13th, 1920, the bloodiest demonstration of in German history. 109 years ago in 1915, the 6.7 magnitude Avezzano earthquake shakes the province of L'Aquila in Italy with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 11, which is extreme, killing between 29,907 and 32,610. 116 years ago in 1908, the Rhodes Opera House fire in Boyertown, Pennsylvania kills 171 people. 124 years ago in the year 1900, to combat Czech nationalism, Emperor Franz Joseph decrees German will be the language of the Austro-Hungarian armed forces. 126 years ago in 1898, Émile Zola's J'accuse exposes the Dreyfus affair. 129 years ago in 1895, in the First Italo-Ethiopian War, the war's opening battle, the Battle of Coatit, occurs. It is an Italian victory. 131 years ago in 1893, the Independent Labour Party of the United Kingdom holds its first meeting. In the same year, US Marines land in Honolulu, Hawaii, from the USS Boston to prevent the Queen from abrogating the Bayonet Constitution. 136 years ago in 1888, the National Geographic Society is founded in Washington, D.C. 175 years ago in 1849, the establishment of the colony of Vancouver Island. In the same year, in the Second Anglo-Sikh War, the Battle of Chilianwala, British forces retreat from the Sikhs. 177 years ago in 1847, the Treaty of Cahuenga ends the Mexican-American War in California. 182 years ago in 1842, Dr. William Bryden, an assistant surgeon in the British East India Company Army during the First Anglo-Afghan War, becomes famous for being the sole survivor of an army of 4,500 men and 12,000 camp followers when he reaches the safety of a garrison in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. 184 years ago in the year 1840, the steamship Lexington burns and sinks 4 miles off the coast of Long Island with the loss of 139 lives. 191 years ago in the year 1833, United States President Andrew Jackson writes to Vice President-elect Martin Van Buren expressing his opposition to South Carolina's defiance of federal authority in the nullification crisis. 202 years ago in the year 1822, the design of the Greek flag is adopted by the First National Assembly in Epidaurus. 209 years ago in 1815, In the War of 1812, British troops capture Fort Peter in St. Mary's, Georgia, the only battle of the war to take place in the state. "227 years ago in 1797, in the French Revolutionary Wars, a naval battle between a French ship of the line and two British frigates off the coast of Brittany ends with the French vessel running aground, resulting in over 900 deaths. "231 years ago in 1793, Nicolas Jean Hugon de Basville, representative of revolutionary France, is lynched by a mob in Rome. "477 years ago in 1547, Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, is sentenced to death for treason on the grounds of having quartered his arms to make them similar to those of the King, Henry VIII of England. "589 years ago in 1435, Sicut Dudum, forbidding the enslavement of the Guanche natives in Canary Islands by the Spanish, is promulgated by Pope Eugene IV. "1,492 years ago in 532, the Nika riots break out during the racing season at the Hippodrome in Constantinople as a result of discontent with the rule of the Emperor Justinian I. "2,051 years ago in the year 28 BC, Octavian transfers the state to the free disposal of the Roman Senate and the people. He receives Spain, Gaul and Syria as his province for 10 years. Okay, so that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel to grow and will also ensure that you are notified of all of my future videos. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.